And we are live, Howard.
Welcome, everybody. Special edition. We're calling it Howard in Turmoil. You can see San Diego, it's burning. There's just chaos. You know, with the Dow down 500, people are looting. I mean, can you see all the? It's basically the city is burning.
Yeah, I see that. I think real estate prices are down 20%.
There's an earthquake. Look at my screen. Look at there's an earthquake right now, caused by the Dow. Okay, and it's a caravan. If you see outside, you can see the caravan from Honduras. We have a live shot as they make their way over. Okay, not to make fun of the market here. It's pretty serious carnage. And I wanted to do, since I'm looking for some ideas, I thought it'd be fun if Ivan and I just tour how we will kind of look at the market tomorrow. Where do you come into the day, Ivan? Were you flat or did you get short anything?
Oh, I'm flat, but I do some intraday trades.
But we don't need to do that. But I wanted to go through. I mean, we get another vicious couple days with the trend back above 2. It didn't close above 2. I was talking to Danny earlier, so I don't know. There's a lot of people that were getting excited to buy. I think we're in no man's land personally in a lot of these stocks. So let's go through the indexes and just kind of see. So this is the S&P. I'm sure everybody can see that, right, Ivan? So we're off the screen.
People are able to see my screen. Yeah, things are pretty ugly here. I mean, as you can see.
To say the least. I mean, I remember doing some Momentum Mondays, and we were just talking about, there was a lot of setups just a month ago, and now, luckily, I mean, it's hard to be a momentum investor if you can't get out. You can't call yourself a momentum investor unless you can take your losses here. I mean, there's been, even though it's gotten ugly here on the Russell here, there's, you had a month to get out. Now it's just.
Yeah, there were plenty of signs, and now we are in the cycle when we're starting to see some panic.
Yes, I think especially in small caps. I don't know why, if we're getting margin calls or if there's just a lot of people overinvested, but we've only given up the year's gains, and it's like you would think the world was coming to an end already.
I mean, it's a pretty significant pullback, and
small caps it is. It's not really a significant pullback in the Nasdaq.
Not yet in the Nasdaq, but looking at the technical picture in the indices, I mean, it's been a while since they've spent a long time below their 200-day moving average, and when they go below the 200-day moving average, it usually takes a significant amount of time to recover. For example, let's take a look at the last time when the Nasdaq went under the 200-day.
Okay, good. That's a good idea. Okay, so go through it. Was that in 2015? When
2015, early 2016. It took 3 months. The correction was pretty quick. Like it was about 6
months. Look at September. Was that a bad data point in September of that year?
No, there was a flash crash, I think, here.
Holy shit, I don't even remember it. I'm so fucking old. I don't remember shit from 3 years ago.
So it took 3 months, 12 weeks for the correction, and then a recovery to the 200-day, and then another 3 months.
Okay, so 6 months
of sideways section. So this deep pullback that we're currently seeing in the indices, I mean, from my perspective, I think it means that we're in for 4 or 5 months of chopping.
Best. Like unless we get another V, but even then, stocks are so far below all-time highs. Like a lot of the enterprise leaders have fallen 20-30%. So
I think it's hard to see a V-shaped recovery when we're under the 200-day moving average. I mean, V-shaped.
So that's interesting. So. Okay, so that's interesting right there. So you think V recoveries, these vicious. So that's why I wasn't getting excited. I don't know why. I didn't put words to it, but I think that's what you're saying. Like we're so washed out, but still in the middle of nowhere. I don't see a V bounce right here.
Look, some of the biggest rallies, face-ripping rallies, happen under the 200-day moving average. So don't get me wrong. Even if we are in a long correction, we will see some major rallies that last 1 to 4 or 5 days, maybe 2 weeks. But those rallies are very likely to be faded. And I think any rally towards the 200-day will meet sellers, or toward the or towards the 50-day we'll see sellers. So it will take time for the indices and for stocks.
Okay, so we've answered that. It's going to take time. So let's get to some. If you were to build a list for tomorrow of stocks and levels that you're looking for, I'm going to run through some names of leaders. So one, I don't know if there was news. Team, TEAM. Atlassian. Jiro is just one of the most beloved open source products. I mean, this stock has just gotten annihilated, and it's down to the 200-day moving average. I have to check on this, but that's one on my list. Meaning, if I want to BTFD tomorrow, and I build a list of 10 companies that, if it gets loose tomorrow and this stock gets into the mid 50s and some dislocation, I'm going to put in a bid. And these would be all trades to me. I'm not in love with anything right now because like you say, we're below the 200-day moving averages on the averages. But I am going to look at the small cap index tomorrow. So Ivan, on my list is the IWM. Although it's so crashed out, I don't know. Maybe there's not going to be much action. Maybe the S&P tomorrow I'd be looking at actually.
Look, during corrective markets, correlations are very high. I mean, they're close to 1. So it doesn't really matter what you pick. I mean, I think it makes sense to go with the indices in some of the triple X ETFs, because basically you see most stocks moving in the same direction, up or down. And at least if you go with an index, with a triple X index, you get the beta. So if you're right about the direction, you get the move, and then you don't have the individual stock risk, especially now in earnings season when there are so many companies reporting. That's from my perspective. Being a trader, if you approach it as a long-term investor, yes, build your list of companies that you want to own long-term, and market corrections are the best time to build positions for the long-term.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not in that mode to be honest. Okay, so great. You're the best. Okay, so Okta for sure. We see this in Gap. I love this company. They're the only company in this space public. Okay, so Okta, obviously Google is in their space too. And I think relative, even though Google didn't do well, there's just no play here. So I'm not going to add to Google tomorrow. So Okta's on my list. I think Apple will be on my list too. I've been selling the last few days above 220. So if I saw this, gap down around 200, I would add some back. Okay. Amazon, well, they have earnings tomorrow, don't they, Ivan?
Yeah, both Google and Amazon.
It's going to be a tough day to trade. You got major earnings, and you have Twitter, which could fucking end up at like 20 for all I know. I'm very bearish on Twitter, from being super bullish to super bearish. I just don't see how that gets itself back on track. Decisively below all moving averages with no real growth. So, I mean, that could be ugly tomorrow. Amazon really needs to, and again, Amazon could care less what the market thinks of it. So that gets me worried. Like, I mean, you could see 400 or 500 point move in this stock. So you got to keep some powder dry for gaps right now. Like if this stock's up 1,500, but again, I don't know. They're so weak. I mean, so far maybe Okta and Team on the enterprise side for me. Do you see anything else, or are you just going to watch?
I'm not going to just watch. If I see something setting up intraday, I'm going to play it intraday.
Do you have a short list of names
to own long term?
No. Do you have a short list of names that you're watching, or is it just going to be indexes?
Oh, it will be just the indexes. I'll be trading the TQQ, which is the 3x long.
Yeah, me too. The TQQ is on my list. I did nibble a little bit right at 50. I think you could see 40 in a washout, and you'd probably want to trade that. Okay, so you're not looking. Yeah, I can't like looking at these individual names. I can't get excited. I got stopped at all my biotech today.
Yeah, I mean the small cap biotech index was down like 8%. It's pretty significant pullback.
Yeah, risk is off. We went from risk on, and I'm talking seriously on, to complete risk off in the last month, but really accelerating here. We are in complete no man's land. What's that? Crane shift. China internet?
The Chinese internet.
Yes.
It's looking pretty ugly. I mean, people.
Well, there's nowhere. Even if it bounces, just there's so many sellers now. You have so many 2 years of people trapped, and there's a lot of new buyers that are trapped.
The Chinese market is in a bear market, so all rallies will probably be short opportunities.
Yep. I think tomorrow is going to be, going through this. It's making me more in sit in my hands mode. Unless you, like you said, you want to trade a few indexes. Okay, so this helped. Is there? So you're looking at TQQ.
Yeah, I'm looking at the IBB. I mean, that level here at the 100. It's very important technically. So maybe if it drops to 100, we might see
there was no great uptrend, really. It was just.
Well, we're trading the ranges. Let's say if you want to trade the ranges, I think it's very likely that you'll see a bounce near 100.
High 90s, you may want to take a. Okay, but I'm not as thrilled about what I'm seeing now that I go through all this. What index is that, Ivan? That's the
this is the IBB, it's the large cap biotech.
I mean, Amgen just looked fantastic at 207. You know, when we bought it and it hit as high as 2010, it just gave up the ghost. I stopped out today, I think 194, 195. And where'd we close?
Well,
187.
Yes. So keep in mind that all those stocks that are still above their 200-day and above their 50-day, I mean, they're showing relative strength if you compare them to the indices.
Yeah.
All of them are.
But from these breakouts, these fast failures can just get ugly, as we see. Okay. What else? You had Melly on your short list as a short sell. Then I mentioned it today, and then it just got. I mean, that really.
It's not really doing that bad, but I'm thinking that it could, in a weak market, it can easily go down to 280 and lower. I mean, it's an emerging market stock.
The trade desk was a strong name, and it's really pulled back. So I was looking at that today.
So during market corrections, the most money can be made shorting momentum stocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my hand. What about this? Helped me decide that I'm just gonna watch tomorrow. What about so you're looking at TQQ, but that's because you're gonna scalp.
I'm going to trade it intraday if it sets up. If I see a setup above above the daily view up, and I'll just trade it intraday. And I think the possibility of a gap up and down or down is pretty high, and I cannot predict it which way. So the risk is too high to hold something overnight as a swing trader.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got my exposure in my companies that I love in my 8 to 80 list, and they're getting hammered. And luckily, I have some powder dry, but I'm in no rush here. The stocks that are doing well are stocks that I don't want to add to right here. I don't love Square on a good day, and now that stock looks really weak. But relatively, it's held up. Twilio, where's Twilio? Okay, so Cadence. Yeah, Twilio. At the 200-day, I may get interested here, in the high 50s. So Twilio would be on my list too. So far, I've got Okta, Twilio, and Team. Those are 3 companies that are not going to disappear. Where's Elastic? So I think I'm going to stick to enterprise personally. Yeah, so Elastic has stayed above 60. It's held 60. Yeah, so if that gets washed out tomorrow, I may finally own, even though I'm overpaying, I love that company. Okay, so that stayed above 60. So far, my only personal ideas are all still enterprise. Can't touch gold. Look how bad Goldman got hit today. The only thing that happened that was good for me is watching Goldman go down. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, financials have been leading to the downside.
This is making my day. Hang on. So Goldman, let me look at Goldman on a longer term. There's regional banks further. We talked about that on Momentum Monday. They're a goner. Oh my goodness. Goldman's in no man's land. Goldman could drop easily 180.
Yeah, and probably they have some potential technical resistance near 200. So that might be good for a bounce trade if they ever get there.
Yeah, but I'm saying it has no, that's not going to have great pin action. So the banks are they're flat trend lines, and now they're below all those flat trend lines, which is really not good. And you have the crossover. So the regional banks have nothing going for them because rates haven't helped them. Oh my goodness, that's which chart was that? Oh, Bank of Skank America.
The bankers ETF, which is all the big banks.
Where's Silicon Valley Bank?
What was the symbol?
SIVB or SVB?
Oh yeah, SIVB, exactly.
That's finally giving up the ghost. So their warrant on that's going to start trading like the Nasdaq more here. So that thing could play catch up and easily go back to 200 in a flash crash. So that would be the first bank that I would look at. But I mean, it's 50 points away from where I get excited. So we're in no man's land. I'm going to leave this to the pros. Hopefully this helped. It helped me, Ivan. So thank you. I think we'll be back on Momentum Monday, and there'll be not much to say. I'm really glad that on Monday we told people to just like stay away. But when markets go down, they can quickly go down, and I wanted to be prepared.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to get scared about.
Oh, look, more looting.
I think the market will offer some amazing trading opportunities in the next few weeks. It's not, this trading environment is not for everyone. And if you don't feel comfortable, just sit it out.
You want to put your phone number up so people can call you?
No, thank you.
Come on.
People can direct message me on stock tweets or on Twitter. My message box is open, so anyone can reach.
I'm going to see you tomorrow at Stocktoberfest.
Yes.
Okay, buddy.
All right.